Given parenthesis cosine 30 degrees close parenthesis squared minus parenthesis sine of 30 degrees close parenthesis squared, evaluate this. In other words, give me, in this example, I want you to give me an exact value without using your calculator. If they're going to ask us to evaluate a trig function without using our calculator, it had better be an angle that we're comfortable and familiar with. And indeed, 30 degrees is one of those angles. So solution. We're going to use our 30, 60, 90 triangle. Remember, it has 60 degrees on the bottom, 30 on top, 90 degrees. 1, 2, square root of 3 are the edges. The cosine is defined by ratio to be adjacent over hypotenuse, while the sine of an angle is defined to be the opposite over the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the side opposite the 90-degree angle where the box is. Okay, cool. So with this information, we can answer the question. Cosine 30 degrees squared minus sine 30 degrees squared is equal to, well, let's see. The 30 degrees, locate the 30 degrees on the triangle and use the ratio for cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is the square root of 3 over the hypotenuse, the side opposite the 90-degree angle, is 2. Put it in parentheses and square it. Okay, bring down the minus sign. Now look at the sine of 30 degrees. So look at the 30-degree angle. The sine is by ratio defined to be the opposite side, which is 1, over the hypotenuse, which is 2. Close your parentheses and square it. So we're just plugging in the ratio values for the sine, cosine, and the sine of the 30-degree angle. Now let's go ahead and square the top and the bottom. Square the top, we get 3. Square the bottom, we get 4. Minus square the top, 1. Bottom would give us 2, 4. When we square 2, we get 4. Okay, so 3/4 minus 1/4. Well, we can do that subtraction. We have a common denominator. 3 minus 1 on the top is 2 over 4. And we can factor and cancel a 2 to get 1/2. 1/2 is the value of this expression, and it's an exact value. I didn't round it. I didn't write it in decimal form. I left it in fraction form, and that is a precise answer without ever picking up a calculator.